Whenever you're ready.
Many of us tend to, what is one thing that many people tend to blame as a reason that violence occurs? Many adults tend to blame video games, specifically violent video games, as the cause for violent behavior. When they have constantly been blamed as the cause of violent behavior throughout since games that contain violence have been being produced. And I personally believe that violent video games are not the cause of violent behavior, and is quite the opposite. Because a lot of people tend to play video games to pass the time and to just relax from a stressful day. And there are three main points that I will cover, and those 3 points are why video games are blamed for violent behavior, the most common causes of violent behavior, and some positive benefits that video games have. And about 98.7% of adolescents play video games, according to an article written by Ferguson, and researchers state that there is less empathy that people have due to playing violent video games, and they also state that there is less prefrontal activity as a result of playing violent video games, both during and after gameplay. And this is a picture of a diagram of one of the experiments that was conducted by Hummer, or at least written about by Hummer in an article about decreased prefrontal activity both during and after violent video game play. And I personally find that there was a bit of a bias to that experiment, because the people that they had participate in that experiment oftentimes did not even really play games more than 5 hours a week, specifically less than 2 hours a week of violent video games. And now that I will get into some of the most common causes of violent behavior, which happen to be protective measures, like when parents try to protect them from violent video games and just video games in general. And by having less freedom, it can spark some retribution to not obey that wish, and to promotes violence. And also another risk factor is witnessing violence, like in school or in the house. And there are also positive benefits to playing video games, which they can actually promote pro-social activity, which is like can increase someone's ability and like drive to defend someone or help someone, and just in general promotes a better social activity. And it also can help to reduce stress and improve stress management, and has actually been tested in the United States military and other militaries, to where they have made their personnel play violent video games to help improve their ability to manage stress, which these are some diagrams that shown like how it helped to improve someone's stress management. And impact is the experiment, and tau control is just their training, usual stress training for their military. And now I have covered why video games are blamed for violent behavior and some of the most common causes of violent behavior and some of the positive benefits of video games. And